topics and questions that have factored into questioning my identity. As a child, identity was something that I struggled with. Questions like who am I and what do I identify with were things that I kept asking myself. I've always felt culturally divided because I wasn't very involved with my cultural traditions. I didn't feel like I was Hmong enough, and therefore I couldn't identify myself as fully Hmong. My older relatives had this saying of calling us American children, or Hmong God. It meant that we were more Americanized than the generation before us, but I didn't feel too American either. In school, I had a ton of problems with reading and writing. I couldn't pronounce words, or I would have a lot of grammatical errors. I blamed my own native language. In films and TV shows, they would typecast Asian characters with broken English accents as a stereotype insinuating that they were uneducated. And as a child, this led me to believe that I had to sacrifice my own language and to speak English more so I would not look uneducated. Growing up, I have witnessed multiple accounts where my father was being condescendingly treated. Things like the DMV, hospitals, insurances, and more did not have the patience to help my father understand the situation, and they gave up on him. I didn't want to be treated the same as my father. Thankfully, over the years, I've come into terms that although I may not speak a lick of Hmong anymore, or fully identify myself with American culture, whatever that means, I'm a proud Hmong American.
Eyes of onyx and igneous rock, observant and everlasting is her glare, and you can't help but stare. She's the shakes and quakes and canyons created to resemble the curves of her stretch marks. Her hips, lascivious lips, the pounding of her voice sounds of knocking on an empty mansion in hidden hills because it forever echoes in your bones, and you feel her vibrations linger in and down your spine. The boom of her grand voice gives you proper posture. Her smile makes your body flutter like her thick lashes. Intellect that glides off her tongue. Original thought stimulating enough to finally open your third eye, because maybe then you could finally see her. The point in her toes as she floats into every room, every space. She's beyond this world. Based on your baseness, you lack the ability to see the light that falls off her shoulders, dripping like pearls and diamonds. She's rich with substance, yet it's so hardly mentioned. At some point, you forgot how to describe a woman of color as more than chocolate, as more than strong, or independent, or proud, or aggressive, or too fucking loud, or overdramatic, or ebony queens, or really good at speaking English surprisingly enough, or looking like Pocahontas with those braids, or that we're whitewashed, or that I look like I work at a fruit stand when you found out that some of us are immigrants. Wait! Don't be envious of my ability to deservingly command a room. Don't call me a half-breed when I know how to embrace my roots without appropriating another culture. Unlike you, these roots made me, and I bring my flowers to the world. My melanin holds magic, but my identity is more than skin deep. My ability to move mountains may be momentous as a woman, but my gifts go beyond the limits placed on my gender, even if we run the world, girls. My loud-ass voice doesn't stem from my blackness. It comes from my advanced articulation and natural projection. No, don't project anything less. I'm the golden hour at sunset that kisses your face with gold enough to filter those insecurities you try to hide on Snapchat filters. Greatness flows in my people like waterfalls in slow motion. We exude love that feels of sunsets reflecting off pools of honey, warm and sweet. You fail to see us for the answers we have cultivated within us from generations past. You hurl invectives that compress our spirits into cinder blocks, dragging us down under white thumbs.
I don't know if it's just me, but I get like really frustrated with the current Latino influencers that are out there. Like, all they choose to do is eat hot Cheetos and listen to the same 2 Spanish songs over and over and cuss people out in Spanish. Like, you could be using your platform to bring attention to some really important issues that our community faces, but you choose to perpetuate a negative stereotype that we already have.
I spent the rest on hot Cheetos.
Porque somos Latinas.
But then these little crumbs are hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos. The Latina spice.
Always going to be featuring hot Cheetos.
So hot Cheetos?
We're gonna have some hot Cheetos Cheeto collection. We have a few products.
Comment down below if you've never had hot Cheetos. I'm really curious. Like, I really want to know.
She doesn't eat hot Cheetos. She's not a true Latina.
Hey. Hola, hermano. My name is Gabriel. I'm your cleaner for today. You know, I'm gonna be mopping the floors and wiping, all that bullshit. Can I come in?
This is what all Latinas do if a man disrespects them.
No ha habido ningún...
¿Sabes qué? Mejor no. Ya, okay?
Eso.
¡Desgraciado!
This is Mexico. That's America. I don't know about you guys, but I want to go to America. Oh, wait, guys, let's finish your beer. Take these shots for good luck. We might as well drink some shots, you know? You got tequila?
Of course.
Okay, everybody take one shot.